You're listening to an Airwave Media podcast.
Recorded in Chicago, Illinois, with your hosts, Ken, Matt, Neal, and Jeff. This is Triviality.
Hello and welcome to Triviality, the game where a lack of seriousness meets a little bit of knowledge. This is Ken coming at you. We got Jeff, Neal in the studio, Matt, DC.
Check it out.
The game where a little bit of Ken intro is one of my favorites. So,
But before we get into this game today, I have a dark confession.
Oh
to
no!
make. When we were in high school, Jeff was driving, and he hit a Komodo dragon in the road, and he just kept going. I had that on my chest for years and years, but now everybody knows.
I like how that's your confession.
Did you really hit a Komodo dragon?
He just kept going. He said, "I don't care."
Wow. Did I?
There has to be some sort of Komodo dragon
I don't remember
alliance.
hitting one.
Well, that was when Brookfield was overrun by
you were
Komodo
drunk.
dragons.
You would
He was
think I
actually
would've
helping
stopped.
everyone
You're
out.
drunk driving though, so
Oh my
I remember-
God.
Well, underage. Yeah.
I remember one time, Matt and I, when we were working at the coffee conglomerate, we were working nights at a parking garage in the city, and this rambunctious teenager and his friend in a Detroit Lions jersey lent us a Ferrari, and we said, you know what, we're just going to take it out. We're not going to park it. And we had a good time.
Was that the plot to Baby's Day Out? I don't remember.
No.
well, let's get right to it today. We got a great episode, despite that intro. First,
It gets better, guys.
Yeah. First of all, we have our player today. She is in Cranston, Rhode Island, an Oakland 5 supporter. Liz Daley, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Very excited to be here.
Yeah, please tell us a little bit about yourself.
So my name is Liz. I am from Cranston, Rhode Island. I am a speech language pathologist, and I work in the elementary schools, as well as see clients privately on the side. I found you guys a few years ago when I was starting to get into trivia, and you're still my favorite trivia podcast. So,
Well, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
That's very nice.
Yeah.
Check is in the mail.
Yeah, right. And it's a pleasure to have you here. She's going to be teaming up with Matt, but first we have our host to introduce. We met him at Geek Bowl a few years ago, and it was a blast talking to him. He's a Savage Superstar from Chicago, Illinois, so hopefully we'll bump into each other soon again. This is Sean Huang.
Yeah, first of all, I guess I should have mentioned this before we talked. I no longer live in Chicago.
Ah.
Surprise!
Yeah.
Where are you at now?
I have since moved to Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh, very nice.
Are you
Yeah,
playing?
it was great seeing everyone again. Yeah, I remember Geek Bowl. That was one of the best times of my life. And even better, the day before, I got to play Magic the Gathering with Jeff. So
Wow.
That's a very nice compliment, Sean. Yes, I would actually when I remembered you were on the docket for today, I was fondly reveling in the revelries we had that day. So
Who won, though?
Sean did,
Well, it's because Sean has never
But-
run over a Komodo.
but
That's why.
I supplied a lot of the decks, so I feel like I won as a deck builder. But yeah, I got my butt handed to me. So
Okay.
And Sean, would you classify this night as a magical gathering?
ooh, I like it.
All right, so before we play, we got to have some team names. Like I said, Liz is going to be partnering with Matt. You're a teacher, and your spring break is coming up. So what was your team name going to be?
I think Matt came up with checked out for spring break.
All right, checking out for spring break. And how about you guys in the studio?
Well, what do you do after you check out? You check back in. We're going to be Kirsten Dunstan. Dunstan checks in.
Kirsten Dunstan checks in. All right, so let's have the rules so we can learn how to play.
The rules of the game are simple. 20 questions split into 2 rounds worth 10 points apiece. At halftime, there'll be a special swing round designed by this week's host. After regulation, players will enter the final round with the points that they've accumulated and will have a chance to wager 0 to 30 points on 5 categorized questions. At the end of the game, someone will be named the cream of the crop.
I am the cream.
And Liz, as a certified speech pathologist, how was the diction of Darren, our rules guy?
Impeccable. Fabulous.
Indubitably.
That'll be his Yelp review from Liz Daley.
All right, well, without further ado, let's toss it over to Sean, get the game going, and I'll be your humble scorekeeper today.
Sounds good. And some of these questions are a little experimental, so if they don't work out very well, I have backups.
Oh, that's okay. It's going to be the Alan Parsons Project of trivia games.
All right. Your first question is a tougher one, but I like it because it's about teamwork. What two-word phrase has been shown to be one of the most important factors for high-performing teams? This is the belief that one will not be punished or humiliated for speaking up with ideas, questions, or concerns.
Okay, so they're locked in. I am in a leadership position at the conglomerate, but I don't lead this way. Apparently, I will punish and humiliate anyone for speaking up. Obviously, so I'm not familiar with this phrase. Do you have any idea here?
No, I have no idea. Unfortunately, think about teamwork, and with March Madness, the only thing I can think of is like alley-oop, and that's not close at all. So
that is important in teamwork, but usually basketball. Yeah. Maybe not so much at the corporate boardrooms. I think that there's a clue somewhere, and it's a tougher one, but I don't know how. It's not. I'm seeing head shaking. It's not a clue. Abort.
Oh, no.
Abort.
Our answer is terrible, and we like it.
I think it's like it's got to be like consequence free or something along those lines. Or
I like that.
We'll just say that, but we'll say consequence free.
Okay. Consequence free. Jeff, what do you think about our answer? You can give it to the folks at home.
Yeah. Sometimes we like to manage up or cross collaborate, but sometimes it happens. So that's what our answer is.
The answer is psychological safety.
Okay.
But I will take
happens.
Okay. It's basically speaking your mind without pushback. This is especially important for effective pub trivia teams, and that started with this.
Okay.
Go.
Well, Liz, thank you for making me feel able to give that answer and feel that I would be supported in it. So that's going to help us get those points for sure.
Of course.
All right. Your next question is in chaos theory. At a meeting at the American Association for the Advancement of Science in 1972, Edward Lorenz gave a talk where he asked if the flap of a butterfly's wings in Brazil could set off what weather phenomenon in Texas.
All right, Neal and I have discussed, and we're going to go lock in an answer.
Butterfly effect. Do you know the phrase?
Hurricane is coming to mind. I believe that's what I've heard before.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. Most of my butterfly effect knowledge involves Ashton Kutcher waking up without arms.
Naturally.
Right. So, but hurricane makes sense. So we can lock in with hurricane.
And we too said hurricane.
Well, so for this specific question, the answer was a tornado. It was in Texas. He noted that if the flap of a butterfly's wing can be instrumental in generating a tornado, it could be equally well be instrumental in preventing a tornado. But with that said, I'm going to give points for hurricane, just because that is also a phrase that's used in the butterfly effect.
I love this game.
I know.
Just keep giving us points.
We're looking good.
I'm going to test that theory on question 3 when I answer something completely wrong.
Question number 3. Production grinded to a halt on the 23rd season of The Bachelor, when what bachelor was so upset that Cassie Randolph left the show that he gracefully jumped over the fence and ran off into the night. He jumped over the fence, but don't worry, they quickly found him walking on the street.
All right, I'm hoping you're a huge Bachelor fan.
I was hoping the same about you. My friends would be very disappointed. All my friends watch it, but I never quite got into it.
I've watched the last 3 to 4 seasons because my girlfriend loves The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. The only Bachelor I even know is Clayton. And he had other problems that were not jumping fence related. He fell in love with all of the girls and tried to marry all of them, I believe. I don't remember how it ended. It wasn't good for him. But he seemed like a scumbag, and he could probably run and jump over a fence. So do you want to lock in with Clayton?
Sure, why not? Better than anything I have.
I'm not sure if I should be proud or upset that I got this right, but it was a guy who had a very short-lived career in the NFL and became like a media personality. So we locked in with last name Underwood.
The person who jumped over the fence was Colton Underwood.
Wow.
You're sure he wasn't a country music star?
Sounds like one.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm happy we have the points, but I'm still embarrassed.
I am too. I almost don't want them. But no disrespect to people who love The Bachelor. All rights reserved.
All right, question number 4. According to my dad, what do you get when you cross an elephant with a rhino?
This is the experimental portion of the evening.
Today's episode, yes.
Okay, we're gonna lock in over here with I guess an interesting answer, Jeff.
Yeah, there's no shortage of interesting ways to attack this question. Liz, I don't know. What do you have any idea? Well,
I was hoping I would because dad jokes are kind of my thing, but not when I have to guess the punchline.
yeah.
A big gray thing is all I'm thinking of.
If it's a black rhino, you could have ebony and ivory.
Ooh, that's a good thought.
And that's kind of a dad joke. So, man, I don't know.
I like it.
We're locking in with ebony and ivory.
We said you get 2 cross animals.
Well, I like my answer better. When you cross an elephant with a rhino, you get elephino.
Now that's one I'll tell to my students tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right, so no points for checking out, no points for checking in.
It works better in a Cockney accent. Yeah.
No points for Sean.
No point. May God have mercy on your soul. And if I know, like that, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, like that.
All right, next question. The Battle of Surfaces was a men's tennis exhibition match held on May 2nd, 2007. It was unique as there was a grass surface on one side of the net and a clay surface on the other. Who were the 2 players in this match, ranked number 1 and 2 at the time, one of whom was a master of the grass court, the other a master of the clay court?
So I know of 2 men who were really good on grass, Neal.
Okay.
Cheech and Chong.
That is true. Jeff and I went through some tennis players' names, and after we said McEnroe a bunch and got really angry and threw our clubs at each other, we locked in.
Yeah, I don't know. In 2007, McEnroe was playing much tennis at that point. Liz, you strike me as a huge tennis fan. What do you have any ideas here? Anything?
Well, looks can be deceiving. I think my boyfriend watches a lot of tennis. Is Nadal a name in tennis?
So Rafi Nadal, I believe, is the master of the clay court. So
Okay.
I would lock in with him. And I think the grass is Pete Sampras. And I think that's right at the end of his reign of winning.
Terror?
Yeah, terror. I guess it depends on if you're a Sampras guy. I'm not. Maybe that's too late for him. I'm really good with Nadal. Do you have any other names?
Unfortunately not.
Yeah, I think we're gonna go with Nadal and Pete Sampras.
All right. Hope we don't have the same answer as we had 5 for 6, but I thought Nadal was the master of the clay, and Neal thought maybe Andy Murray was the other, so that's what we went with.
So at the time, number 2 was Rafael Nadal, whereas number 1 was Roger Federer.
Federer
versus Nadal.
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't pull that.
I know. It makes a lot more sense.
Sampras was too early. I think he was done by then.
Yeah, it was like early 2000s he was out, right?
Yeah.
All right, at the end of 5 questions, checking out for spring break has 2 questions right for 20 points. Same for Kirsten Dunson checks in.
Right. Question number 6. On May 17th, 1966, Keith Butler was in the audience during a Bob Dylan concert in Manchester, England, when he shouted the word Judas, directed at Bob Dylan. This was because of his use of what instrument as representative of many of his tours in 1965 to 1966 that were met with similar derision?
I don't know why he yelled Judas for that.
Because the instrument was a bag of silver.
Hey, come on, man.
It's pretty good.
Shaking it like a maraca.
What do you have for this one? Anything?
Not much. If we're thinking strange instruments, unfortunately, my Bob Dylan knowledge is lacking.
So I believe this is the time when Bob Dylan went from acoustic folksy Bob Dylan and started incorporating some electrical guitar, and people did not enjoy that he switched to electric guitar. I'm pretty sure that the answer is electric guitar.
Okay, yeah. Sounds good. If
And
you
we'll
feel
lock
good.
in.
That's some really great reasoning there. I could totally see that grinding people's gears.
Imagine the people from that Coen Brothers movie.
Yeah, right. Well, wait till they hear Jimi Hendrix. But we just said harmonica because he was known to blow on the old harmonica every once in a while.
Yeah, so points to one team. This is the electric Dylan controversy. The answer is electric guitar.
Wow, nice poll.
Well done, Matt.
Honestly, how dare he?
Next question. On a 60 Minutes profile with Anderson Cooper, Eminem discussed his dismay for those who say that the word orange doesn't rhyme with anything, and it kind of pisses him off because he can think of a lot of things that can rhyme with orange, especially if you enunciate it and make it more than one syllable. Name one of the 5 words or phrases that he proceeds to rhyme with orange.
You know this one?
So I don't know that I know it, but I know that I've heard like door hinge being rhymed, but I don't know if that comes from him or not.
I believe that's from this interview. I have seen it. Yeah, I think door hinge is probably the best guess that we're going to come up with, and I'm sure Neal's going to know all of them. So I think we can lock in with door hinge.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he said something like a 4-inch door hinge, and then something 8 porridge. I can't remember the other one, but yeah, those at least one of them.
Hey, sir, may I have another rhyme?
Yeah, he said, I put my orange 4-inch door hinge in storage and ate porridge with George. So any of those words would have gotten you points. And
There's a late career Bare Naked Ladies song where they also use store in Germany.
All right, next question. A correspondent in the New England Journal of Medicine last year noted that what was the #1 cause of death in children and teens in the United States, with 4,357 deaths in 2020.
My only thought was I feel like around that time we were hearing a lot more about deaths by suicide, and I wonder if that was the topic.
Yeah, I did. I had there was a foundation out at my store today that was talking about anti-bullying and suicide and how it's on the rise. So that would make sense. So I think that we can lock in, sadly, with suicide, I guess.
Yeah, unfortunately, Neal and I both had the same gut reaction on this, so we're going to go with it. But we said firearms.
Yeah, in 2016, firearms were second in motor vehicle crashes, but that gap has narrowed, and firearm-related injuries became the leading cause of death in that age group.
Wow.
Next question. The teen sitcom Sam and Cat aired 35 episodes on Nickelodeon from 2013 to 2014, a spin-off of 2 TV shows. It featured Janet McCurdy as Sam Puckett from the show iCarly, being stuck with who as Cat Valentine from the show Victorious.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think we can lock in.
Unfortunately.
I
You
could
put
just
some
gonna say,
respect on her
unfortunately,
name.
I think we can lock in for the rest of the questions.
Do you know who this donut licking woman is?
Believe it's Ariana Grande.
Yeah, locked in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that hopefully we were going to run 7 rings around the other team, but we did not. We said Ariana Grande.
It's Ariana Grande, and I thought that would play a lot harder than it
Not
did.
to this group.
Look who
of
you're
people.
talking to.
Look at your target audience here.
I thought I was gonna have to answer Victorious. I knew that one too.
Right? Oh, yeah, Victoria Justice, for sure.
One of my playtesters asked me to stick in that stuck it with clue because the song stuck with you because they didn't think that it would
Oh, I didn't even hear that.
And if anybody's running the numbers, seeing what age Matt would have been when these things were on TV,
Don't
the
do
answer
that.
is indeed too old.
Liz,
I
are
have
you
a
a fan? Are you a fan of Broadway at all?
Yes.
How do you feel about Ariana Grande playing Elphaba in the Wicked movie?
So I'm a fan of Broadway. Apparently not that big a fan because I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh yeah, she's gonna be Elphaba. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
So now that that's been sprung on you, how do you feel about it?
5 second
I think
take.
intrigued, but it's not the character you would think that she would play.
So intrigued but cautious.
A
Another
little.
Yelp review from Liz Daley.
I'm on a roll.
Yeah.
Next question. This is a two-part question, and you must get both parts of the question to get full points. Part number 1. As noted in the 2016 movie Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, what was Batman's mother's first name?
How do we know that name?
Tell me how you know that
Just go ahead and mark it correct for everybody here.
And part number 2. In the same movie, what was Superman's mother's first name? Man.
I think it's the name that broke the internet and broke the superhero fans.
I don't like this question.
We're locked in, so I
Yeah.
think Matt knows it
Yeah.
as well.
Do you know it, Liz?
I know it's the same name. I want to say something like Martha, but when you say it, I'll know it.
It is Martha.
All
We
right.
said Martha.
And what
Yeah,
about
well.
Superman's mom's name?
Martha.
Also Martha.
Not Wayne for that one, but
Yes, it was Martha and Martha. They have the same name.
So that will conclude the first round. 60 points per team. So it's a dead heat, much like the Komodo dragon.
Much like a great movie that I used to watch as a kid called Dead Heat, starring Joe Piscopo and Trent Williams
Yeah,
with zombies.
We've heard about this
Now on Blu-ray.
many times.
Sponsor of the show today. Check it out.
Criteria collection.
Dead Heat on Blu-ray.
All right, what do you have for the swing round today?
Yeah, for the swing round, I want you to name the city. I'm going to give you 10 questions. You have to name the city. All right, question number 1, the most populous city in Africa. Number 2, Coachella. Where is Coachella? Number 3, Jimmy McNulty, Chemo Greggs, and the Bunk solve cases. Number 4, Climate Pledge Arena. Number 5, Himalayan Valley, featured in the 1933 novel Lost Horizon by James Hilton. Number 6, December 14th, 2008, George W. Bush ducks a pair of shoes thrown at him. Number 7, the site of a siege that collapsed 9 days after the arrival of Joan of Arc in 1429. Question number 8, capital of Madhya Pradesh and site of an industrial disaster at a Union Carbide pesticide manufacturing plant in 1984. Question number 9, October 30, 1974, Muhammad Ali beats Foreman in an 8th round knockout. And then question number 10, Darth Vader cuts off the hand of Luke Skywalker.
I was hoping there'd be a fictional one in here.
All right. Well, that is the swing round. We'll be right back with the answers. Welcome back. We're here with the swing round answers, but just want to remind everybody that Patreon is a huge factor that helps us do what we do. Isn't that right, Jeff?
Absolutely, Ken. Yeah, we wouldn't be anywhere without the support of our generous patrons. If you are interested in receiving great perks in exchange for your monthly support, you can do so over at patreon.com/trivialitypodcast. We would be forever grateful.
Yes, indeed. All right, on to the swing round answers.
All right, name the city. Question number 1, most populous city in Africa.
Jeff, you seem to know this one right away.
Yep, I believe this is Lagos, Nigeria.
I don't think we said that. Liz, what did we answer for this one?
We went with Johannesburg.
Okay, so I should probably look it up. I have Cairo as the most populous city in Africa.
You said it, Matt. You said
I
it.
said, hey, is Egypt in Africa?
And apparently
We
Liz doesn't
decided
know
no.
geography.
Jeff is wrong again.
Not only is he wrong, he's wrong by 2.
Million.
It is Cairo. Yeah.
It's Kinshasa is number 2.
No points.
All right, well, question number 2, Coachella. Where is Coachella?
We thought you were being cheeky, and we think it's just in the city of Coachella.
Having lived in LA when there was no Coachella the entire time I was there, I do remember seeing flyers for it, and I believe it's in Indio, California.
It is in Indio, California. All right, Jimmy McNulty, Kimo Greggs, and the Bunk solve cases.
Well, I'd be remiss if we didn't get this one. We said Baltimore.
Yeah, Jimmy McNulty took me a minute, but I was pretty sure it was from The Wire, so we said Baltimore.
Yes, season 4 is the best one of the 5 seasons. This is Baltimore from The Wire.
Is that the one where they're in the school?
Yep, the school one. Question number 4, Climate Pledge Arena.
We said Seattle, thinking that this was the new home of the Kraken.
Yep, that's 100% right, Seattle.
Yes, Seattle, home of the Kraken and the Storm and the Rat City Roller Derby League of the Women's Flat Track Derby Association.
Hell yeah.
Obviously, that's how we got it.
Question number 5, Himalayan Valley, featured in the 1933 novel Lost Horizon by James Hilton.
I love the movie version of this, and initially I was saying it was Utopia, but I knew it was a different name, and Jeff helped me remember that we believe it's Shangri-La.
We had no idea. We said Tibet Town. One of the worst answers.
It's Shangri-La.
At least your self-awareness is good.
Yeah, we know it's bad.
Yep.
Question number 6, December 14th, 2008, George W. Bush ducks a pair of she's thrown at him.
Yeah, we thought this was somewhere in the Middle East, and it was due to, I suppose, his handling of everything over there. So we thought maybe this was just Baghdad.
We were thinking more Far East. What did we say?
I believe we ended up going with Kyoto.
Points to one team. This was Baghdad.
He seemed like a man who got shoes thrown at him a lot, so it could have also happened in Kyoto. We don't know.
Next question. The site of a siege that collapsed 9 days after the arrival of Joan of Arc in 1429.
Jeff?
Yeah. To have a new one, you probably had to have an original. I think this is the Siege of Orleans.
Yep. And we said the same thing. Yep.
Yeah, the siege of, is it Orleans? Next question. The capital of Madhya Pradesh and site of an industrial disaster at a Union Carbide pesticide manufacturing plant in 1984.
Yeah, so it turns out my not super populated Indian state geography is terrible. So we don't know. We guessed Mumbai.
We guessed the populous India city, and we said New Delhi.
Okay, so this is the Bhopal disaster. Next question. October 30th, 1974. Ali beats Foreman in an 8th round knockout.
Thinking that this was Rumble in the Jungle. We knew that took place in the DRC, so we said Kinshasa.
This is one that, surprisingly, I don't know if I'm right, but I had a thought. We said Manila.
This is the Rumble in the Jungle in Kinshasa.
Not quite a thriller, apparently. Unfortunately,
less
for us.
impressed with myself.
You had one of his other famous fights, so you're on to something.
Yeah.
You're on the right track.
That's okay. I blow the next one. Don't worry.
I always mix up the Thrill in Manila and the Rumble in the Jungle, but Thrill in Manila is Ali versus Frazier, so that's the one I always forget. Okay.
Down goes Frazier, right? Is that one?
Yeah, that's it, I think, yeah.
All right, last question. Darth Vader cuts off the hand of Luke Skywalker.
We couldn't remember this one. We know that Empire has like Cloud City in it, where I think Lando's from, and we didn't know if it took place there. But Jeff said Coruscant, which we couldn't remember if that was a planet that Leia was from or this happened. So we just said
Or just a
Coruscant.
breakfast food that the French love to eat.
I mean, a lot of stuff takes place there, so
Yeah.
why not this?
I definitely knew that this was in Cloud City, but I thought that Coruscant was the name of Cloud City, which I'm pretty sure it's not now. But so we actually locked in with Coruscant, which I think is wrong.
So it's Cloud City on the planet of Bespin.
All right, that concludes the swing round. Checking out for spring break. Picked up 4 of those for 80 points total. Kirsten Dunst checking in, 90 points total, picking up 6 of those.
All right, round number 2. Many times during the past few election cycles, I thought to myself, wouldn't it be crazy if Barack Obama just ran as a vice president? Well, it turns out he can't, because of which amendment, which states that no person constitutionally ineligible to the office of president shall be eligible to that of vice president of the United States.
I would think it has to be one of the earlier ones. But
I think it might actually be a later one.
Oh, okay.
Because I think it came about after either maybe it's after Grover Cleveland wins it a second time. I don't know. I feel like if it would have had to have come up at some point that after winning 2. But maybe I don't know. I now I feel like I don't know anything about amendments.
I know the ones it's not, but I don't know the ones that
not
it
the
could
4th.
be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not the somewhere buried in the 2nd, maybe? No, probably not. Yeah, so we have no logical reason to guess any number. So what's your favorite number between 10 and 20?
Between 10 and 20, 13, but I don't think it's 13, so 11.
11. That seems good. They did the heavy lifting with the first 10, and then they said, let's do this other one. That's good. We'll do 11.
So, yeah, we're also taking a guess here. I'm pretty sure that this happened around the 1950s when they actually set term limits. And I know the 21st Amendment, that's like the last one I remember that was ending prohibition. So we said 26 for cuz.
So this amendment is the 12th Amendment.
So close. Is it within 1, right? You said within 1?
Yeah.
With,
I don't think that's how amendments work.
Yeah. I would have also accepted the 22nd Amendment, which states that no person shall be elected to the office of president more than twice. So along with both of those together, Barack Obama cannot be vice president.
He's out of luck.
Yeah. When their powers combine.
Your luck's finally run out, Obama.
when those amendment powers combine.
All right. Next question. Ray Chapman is the only person to have ever died professionally playing what? An event that occurred in August 1920.
I'm hoping this name sounds familiar to you.
It does. And also the time period, if it's a sport, rules out, and they said professionally too. So I think it rules out, it's not basketball. It could be hockey, but I think there might be more than one person that died playing hockey professionally. My guess is baseball, because at the time they did not wear batting helmets. And
they also didn't throw hard or hit hard.
Well, they drank.
They also
hard.
ran like with a lucky strike in their mouth.
Yeah. So that it could have been that.
It's just a heart attack.
Yeah, baseball was my first thought too, although not for any good reasons. But
yeah, I think that this led to some either a requirement of helmets or something along those lines. So I think we can lock in with baseball.
I don't know. I feel like Babe was wearing that baggy ball cap for at least a decade after, but
yeah, it wasn't. We don't think it was the hot dogs or the whiskey or the improprieties or proclivities that killed this person. It was probably something to do with a hard ball. So we also said baseball.
Yeah, he died playing Major League Baseball.
He broke Tom Hanks's only rule: there's no dying in baseball.
Yeah, he got hit by a ball. It led to a ban on dirty baseball, including spitballs.
Wow, that's Matt's favorite pitch.
The spitter?
The spitter.
Well, he died doing what he loved, smoking on the bench.
Thought he would have died of boredom.
All right, next question. You have been sentenced to death. You must choose from 3 rooms to receive your punishment. Room number 1 has nothing but a pit full of spikes. Room number 2 is consumed by a mighty fire. Room number 3 is full of tigers that haven't eaten for 6 months. Which room should you choose?
I thought this was going to be a Monty Hall problem. Can you go back and do that again?
Is there a correct answer to this?
If I roll a 20, can I use my sword?
So I remember hearing this riddle back in middle or high school, and I believe the answer is room 3, because those tigers who haven't eaten in 6 months should be dead, so we should be fairly safe.
Yeah, but it would
I
smell
mean, if
horrible.
your goal is to survive.
That is true.
Right.
Yeah, your punishment
depends on your goal.
To fulfill the punishment, you got to die.
The
So.
smell alone would make me run into room 2 afterwards with those decomposing tigers. But we
Fair.
we can lock it with room number 3.
I think, Jeff, you chose this because at one point during the podcast history, you came up to me and you say, I consider myself a taxidermist. So, wait, what's the line?
That's where the Komodo dragon came from. He didn't stop at the time, but he went back the next day.
Just to remember.
It was still fresh.
He was hanging out at the crime scene like, oh, this is terrible. Who would do such a thing?
Took it in your tote bag from Target.
More like free Komodo dragon.
So what answer did you have?
We said 3 because we presume the tigers are probably dead.
And I also chose room number 3, not because I was doing the riddle, but because I'd rather be mauled by tigers.
Yeah, the room of tigers. The tigers haven't eaten in 6 months. They're dead. God, Terrence.
That also includes the Detroit Tigers as well.
Thanks for entertaining me on that one. It's now. Oh, next question. I want to believe that there is an effect where the number of women entering STEM professions increased following the airing of a particular early 1990s television show. What is the name of this effect, named after one of the show's 2 main characters?
All right. So initially, we were thinking, well, I was thinking because you were not born yet. We were thinking Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman. But then we got a clarification on the time period of 1993 to 2002, which doesn't make any sense. So we just locked in with Murphy Brown, thinking the T in STEM is for television.
No, the years of the show, I think, codified the answer that Neal provided. And, I might love David Duchovny, but I definitely don't want to kill Scully.
Scully, yeah.
Yeah.
We think it's, X-Files, I want to believe, was the clue there. And we said the Scully effect.
This is the Scully effect, named after Dana Scully, which remains a subject of scientific inquiry. Next question. The Declaration of Independence is not stored in oxygen, but rather what more inert gas?
We're just looking for gases here, and not the ones that populate the studio on a weekly basis.
I have a guess.
Okay, I trust you.
Okay. Gases. Let's chat.
Let's.
Welcome to Gas Chat.
Companion podcast to Hat Chat.
So it's probably not a flammable gas. That feels like that would be a mistake.
Probably. My problem is I don't know a lot about flammable gases.
I know, there's that whole side of the periodic table that's all gases, and that's your heliums and argon and neon.
Right.
But I think those are all expensive. I don't know. I my guess would be helium. I don't know why.
They're sparing expenses to store the Declaration of Independence.
If they have to cycle the gas
those
out.
Those gases would be too expensive to use to store the Declaration of Independence.
I think they just scan it and keep it on a floppy disk, if I recall.
It's too big.
Oh, what's this gas here?
You can't fit a PDF like that on a 4 meg floppy.
Are you good with locking with helium?
Sure. Yeah.
Like we're gonna go helium.
Does that mean the Declaration of Independence would blow up like the Hindenburg?
No, that's hydrogen.
Oh, okay.
It's the opposite.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not what they're looking
inert
for.
means that it's not going to explode.
Oh, I see.
And I think the other team is correct. Where it would be cool to say it was like in argon or krypton or even radon, we just said helium.
Sorry.
Helium?
Everybody loves radon.
Hey!
Sorry, that's what I thought of immediately.
I got radiation.
Radon, it's me, argon. Come on.
Dad, did you check the batteries?
So stupid.
I mean, I was never going to do it well, but I really couldn't stay in character.
Boy. What's the answer
What's
here?
the damn answer?
So the Declaration of Independence is not stored in oxygen, but it is instead stored in argon.
Oh.
So as a preservative.
Well, we knew which column it was in, so I feel pretty good about that.
They wipe the Declaration of Independence with xanthan gum, so it will stay crisp.
All right, that will conclude mercifully the first half of the second round. We have 100 points for checking out for spring break and 120 for Kirsten Dunst checks in. Sorry, Kirsten Dunstan checks in. My mistake. What an embarrassment.
Kirsten Dunstan checks in.
All right, next question. What is the portmanteau logical fallacy where a critical argument is not answered or discussed, but rather retorted with a different counter-argument, often to distract from the content of the first argument?
All right, Jeff, you wrote down 2 words that I think make some sort of sense. So let's lock them in.
Oh boy. I don't think I have anything here.
I was hoping that you could name some logical fallacies.
Yeah. This is called hey, look over there. I really have nothing to.
I think that's
with
the
this
best
one.
we got.
Yeah, the old classic. Hey, look over there.
Yep.
Well, Jeff, you put this one over the finish line. I just said it sounded to me like one of my favorite Audio Slave songs, but you fixed it.
Spoon Man.
Yeah.
That's also Soundgarden, not Audio Slave. But,
What did I say? Audio Slave? I meant Soundgarden. That's what I meant.
You're almost there. Do it clean.
Yeah, apparently I paid a lot of money for a degree that I don't deserve to have. But we just said straw man because I couldn't remember.
I think this is kind of a newer one. This is whataboutism.
Oh, I've read that. Okay.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Politicians love that crap.
All right, next question. Angle to the right. Hold your right hand behind your head and left hand circling your left hip to the ratchet. Then pop your hip on the second circle, pull your left arm across your body, and then circle over your head to the sassy. Do the arm wave to moody and dip it low to nasty. This is part of the dance routine to what song?
Stanky leg.
No, it's not the stanky leg.
Okay.
You always think it's time for the stanky leg, but it's not, Jeff.
Okay.
It's
Man, I
never
know
time.
3 dances.
almost
the
never.
stanky leg, the Macarena, and the Charleston, okay?
It's almost never time for this.
Okay, we can lock in here finally after trying to do the
I also
dance.
know the Dougie, so that's 4. Thank you.
Teach you how to Dougie. Now, Liz, you've implied that you're much younger than us. I'm sure you are hip to all the TikTok dances, so I'll just let you take this one away.
Yeah, so I don't know about being hip, but I do recall this one being quite popular. I believe the name of the song is Savage, I want to say.
Oh, yeah. I know that one.
Yeah, I think it's that one.
Okay. Savage.
Yeah, it took me a while. I had to put my hand on my head or whatever, and I had to hear sassy, moody, nasty.
Yep.
So we said Savage by
Oh,
Megan
yeah.
Thee Stallion.
Savage by Megan Thee Stallion.
Oh, yeah.
The song parodied for Tiger King as well. Or
Oh,
Tiger
no.
King people parodied it. Yeah.
That's
I see you
unfortunate.
spelled savage in the Johnny Depp cologne way, though.
Savage.
Savage.
All right, next question. Can you hum while pinching your nose?
Now, don't do it. You're not allowed to do it. Don't try to do it. That's cheating. That's for the people at home, too. I'm going to say no. You want to lock in with no? I don't think you can.
I'm positive that's correct.
Wow.
But they
I
think
have-
they can do it. Neal's over
I
there.
think I
thinking,
can do it.
Give it a try.
I think I can do
Let's-
it.
let's have
What
it
are we
try
doing?
right
Humming?
now.
Humming
But
while
if you
pinching your nose.
can't do it, you don't get any points.
That's fine. I just have to hum?
I do think it's possible.
I think I can do it. All right, here we go.
That's not humming.
That was a hum?
That's not humming. No hum, no points.
Proven
So
wrong.
it's funny because that actually comes up rather a lot in my line of work. We talk about how sounds are made, and that's always a fun fact that I give to my students is that if you plug your nose, humming comes out your nose, so you physically can't do it.
Oh, I disagree.
Neal's still doing it.
If you consider
What do we classify as a hum?
So what is the answer?
Yeah, well, the answer is no, but I will accept yes.
No,
you
don't
can-
accept
No,
yes.
you don't have yes. I did
gonna
have a
make me
noise
look
come out,
bad.
though.
I don't know if we could call it a hum.
Sounds like indigestion is what they do.
Neil's just like, oh man, I'm like dizzy trying to do that. Nope.
So the
Let's not
answer is
try that.
no. The answer is no. No points for you. May God have mercy on your soul.
I feel like something's coming out, but I won't take the points.
Sounds like a bee is in the studio.
That would be a great episode of Triviality. Like put a bee in here,
bee
like a
got
wasp, and then we just do the episode with it flying around.
Like that episode of Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Can't believe Neil just murdered a bee in here.
At least it wasn't
Try to
Komodo.
deflect from the Komodo.
What aboutism over here with Jeff?
All right. Next question. Who is the only president in the Wrestling Hall of Fame, not the WWE Hall of Fame, the Wrestling Hall of Fame? In 12 years, he won more than 300 recorded matches with only one confirmed loss.
We're going to go ahead and lock in. This is a favorite fact of mine. So
Mm-hmm. But I don't know if he wrestled with or without the hat, because that would give him some sort of advantage.
What's his one loss to John Wilkes Booth?
Did he throw the baseball that killed Ray Chapman?
If it was WWE, I believe Trump also qualifies for this. But I think that we can lock in with Abraham Lincoln, noted wrestler from the great state of Illinois.
yeah, we said hailing from Kentucky. This is Abraham Lincoln. I don't know
That's
why
right.
I
He's
did
not
that.
from here, but he's on everything related to Illinois.
Absolutely. We usurped him so hard.
One of my former coworkers was in the roller derby, and she was really cool, and her roller derby name was Abraham Lincoln.
See, that's cool.
Points all around. The answer is Abraham Lincoln. All right. Last question of round 2. What is the famous phrase of soccer announcer Andres Cantor, often spoken when a team scores a point? Bonus 5 points if you say it, the answer, in the style of Andres Cantor.
No. I won't. Do you know the answer to this?
I don't. I would guess goal.
It is
But-
goal.
Okay.
And that's why he said point instead of goal there, because it's just goal.
Yeah,
And he says it much like I said no there.
I thought so.
For a long time. He says it for a long time.
Jeff?
Goal.
I was hoping you'd go for a long answer here.
That was perfect.
Goal! Ken's killing me to stop that. So.
It's not good to listen to be honest.
Oh, I know.
All right, what is the answer?
The answer is goal. Goal.
All right, everybody's getting regular points. I'm declaring it
Yeah.
now.
Give
Not enough
yourself points
effort.
at home if you screamed it in your car and everybody's looking at you funny now.
That concludes regulation. Checking out for spring break, closing the gap a little bit with 140, but still in the lead. Kirsten Dunstan checks in with 150.
All right. For your final round, the 5 categories are preventive care, French fries, same name, fantasy basketball, and Sesame Street.
The wagers are in, so let's have the questions for each of those great categories.
All right. In preventive care, the U.S. Preventive Services Task Force recommends screening for what disease at least once in patients aged 18 to 79 years due to substantial net benefit. There are currently antiviral regimens for this disease, including Harvoni, Sovaldi, and Epclusa. In the category of French fries, according to my dad, the first French fries were not made in France. Where were they made? In same name, what is the name of both the point when matter becomes infinitely dense as in the center of a black hole, as well as the name of the moment when artificial intelligence has become so advanced that it cannot be reversed and humanity will change forever? In the category fantasy basketball, when playing fantasy basketball head-to-head, you can play 8 category or 9 category. 8 category allows players to compete in 8 categories: points, rebounds, assists, steals, blocks, threes, field goal percentage, and free throw percentage, whereas 9 category leagues tend to add which other category. And the final question in Sesame Street, S is for what first name of the Cookie Monster?
Those are the questions. We'll be right back with the answers and find out who will be today's cream of the crop. We're back and all the answers are locked in. For question 1, looks like checking out for spring break has 10 points, and it's a big 0 for Kirsten Dunst.
Yeah, so what did you all get for what disease should we screen for at least once in patients aged 18 to 79 years due to substantial net benefit? Currently, antiviral regimens for this disease include Harvoni, Sovaldi, and Epclusa.
Yeah, we got nothing on the line, but we said hepatitis C.
So Matt and I we were thinking shingles.
One team is getting it correct. It's hepatitis C.
Oh.
Liz, I was actually right there with you. I was saying shingles too. I had no idea.
Well, you get 0 points, so good for you.
All right, for the second question, looks like spring break has 30 points riding on it, and same for Kirsten Dunst.
In the category of French fries, according to my dad, the first French fries were not made in France. Where were they made?
Yeah, Jeff got this one right away. I'm not good with riddles or dad jokes and punchlines and whatnot.
Yeah, we said in a fryer.
We said something very similar. We said in an oven, in the kitchen, cooked. Something.
Okay, so the first French fries were not made in France. They were made in Greece.
Okay.
Since you guys both got it wrong.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt too much.
Doesn't hurt either of you. All right, so for question 3, it looks like spring break has 20 points, and Kirsten Dunst has 30 points riding on this.
All right, what is the name of both the point when matter becomes infinitely dense, as in the center of a black hole, as well as the name of the moment when artificial intelligence has become so advanced that it cannot be reversed and humanity will change forever?
Also known as Matt.
Indeed. We believe this is the singularity.
Yep.
Or a singularity, depending on the context.
And Matt came up with this one, but we said the same thing, singularity.
Points to both teams. It's singularity. The next question in fantasy basketball, 9 category leagues tend to add which category over 8 category leagues?
And it's 30 points for spring break, 0 points for Kirsten Dunst.
Yeah, we had no idea. We don't play fantasy things other than Magic or D&D for Jeff. But I just was thinking of a random thing in basketball, and we said fouls. Everyone loves to count fouls, so that's what we put.
I believe that this is a category that Russell Westbrook destroys in every single year, and I think it's turnovers. No turnovers.
Yeah, points to one team. It's turnovers. But fouls is a really good guess. And then the last question in Sesame Street. S is for what first name of the Cookie Monster?
Yep, knew this one, thankfully, after doing a lot of research for Sesame Street for something I'll be talking about coming up soon. This is when Cookie Monster dated Nancy for a long time, so we said Sid.
Yeah, he's a bit of a psycho himself. We also said Sid.
Both teams got it right. The answer is Sid. S-I-D.
Let me just double check here. I think we have a tie.
We have a tie.
What was that one question he gave us points for we didn't deserve points for in like the first
all of them
2 questions?
At the beginning.
There was multiple here.
Well, I think we can all agree that I did hum. So, no, I'm just kidding. Do you have any tiebreakers or no?
All right. According to Google, and me typing it in just now, what is the population of the United States as of April 4th, 2023? Today is April 5th, according to the United States Census Bureau. And whoever's closest wins.
I say we take whatever they have and add 1.
Yeah.
Price is right, really.
You got to answer first.
I know.
I don't even
think
have
they're going to be that close with the answer of 5.
I don't even have a ballpark like where it starts. It's over 100 million? Is that
That sounds right. I'm trying to think. There's what, like 6 billion people on Earth in general.
Yeah.
So now I'm trying to think what percentage
Percent would be of
the
the
U.S.
United
would
States. I think
be.
like, because like LA and has 6 million people, and in New York has 10 million. The big cities do
Yeah.
count for a lot of it, but then the middle is sparsely populated. So maybe like 130 million, something like that.
Okay. I'd even say maybe a little bit more, but
Okay. 160 million.
sure.
162,375,468.
Perfect.
And congratulations to Jeff, because I can see his answer.
Our guess was 332,541,678.
So the answer is 334,578,723.
That makes Kirsten Dunstan checks in today's cream of the crop.
Wow.
I am the cream of the crop, and don't forget it, Dutch boy.
And once again, because I was able to hum.
That's why. Yep, that's the
I
deal.
didn't know that Jeff was a census worker. That's not fair.
You can't do it. You can't do it. You've only got the amount of air that fills your sinus and mouth, and then it's over.
Okay.
All right,
We do know of a professional we can see now.
Neal, if you're done giving yourself a hernia, I would love to move on and thank our guests today. The first of which is Liz. Thank you so much for joining us today. Hope you had a good time. Please say farewell to whoever you wish.
Yeah, this was so much fun. Thank you guys for having me. Very excited to finally have made it on.
Awesome. And it was a pleasure to have you, as I said. Sean, great questions. I liked your experimental game, as you said. A couple fun riddles in there and jokes. Any final statements from you?
Yeah, I hope the listeners also appreciate it. But shout out to Triviality. I've listened to every episode weekly now for over 4 years. It never gets old. I like how you allow different hosts every week to come on. I like the pacing. I like the camaraderie. So I appreciate it a lot.
Well, thank you. That's very nice.
Yes, indeed.
And that's what we strive for.
Yeah,
So
that's right.
glad to hear we're doing it okay.
And that'll do it for today's episode. Before we go, as always, we want to thank Airwave Media, our network. And they have other great shows such as Earn and Invest, History of Everything, and the Investing for Beginners podcast. I could probably use that one. I'm definitely a beginner. And that'll do it. Want to thank both of our guests, Liz and Sean. And for Matt, Jeff, Neal, the Komodo dragon, and myself, that was Triviality.
His name was Robert Paulson.